Hey, welcome to Breaking Bad Burgers. What would you like grilled today?
I would love a wonderful grilled burrito minus
Good.
the ricin.
All right. Well, we don't have rice, and we have chili peas. Is that cool?
I hate chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that. Thank you, Terry, for that marvelous intro. I mean, Tuco, actually. Thank you for that intro.
You're
Uh,
welcome. You're welcome.
hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Breaking Bad. Hold on a second. Welcome back to another episode of the Sideshow where we are breaking down Breaking Bad. My name is Adam.
Breaking Bad.
And of course, I'm joined with our fearless leader, the soundbite master himself, Terry. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. It's going good. I love the hat today.
Maybe blue, but it's the bomb.
Maybe blue, but it's the bomb.
You don't tell me that you have bites for the episode, but I appreciate them. Yes,
That's all I got. Those are the two ringers I have in the database for Breaking Bad.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
They're tight, and they're the bomb. Nothing
tight.
They need to go back to the 90s where those references came from. Anyway,
I'm gonna miss Tuco.
I do. R.I.P. Spoiler alert, I guess, right? Anyway, this is Breaking Bad. We're breaking down Breaking Bad, episode 2 of season 2. This is an episode called Grilled. Again, this is my first time watching Terry's Breaking Bad veteran, so we're getting two different perspectives on this episode. I'm really excited to dig deep into this episode. I think there's some really interesting dynamics. You're thinking one thing about Tuco, for instance, and I think this episode kind of subverted my expectation to who he actually was. I'm really excited to dive into this, and I think there are some very interesting things to take away from it. So, Terry, you have any quick thoughts about the episode, or do you want to jump into that synopsis?
Let's jump into the synopsis, and then we'll get to some thoughts afterwards. But let's look at what we're talking about first. So, Breaking Bad season 2, episode 2 is entitled Grilled. Where did Walt, Jesse, and Tuco go? A lot of people are wanting to know. Hank and the DEA are looking for Tuco after his fingerprint was found at the scene where Nodo's and Gonzo's bodies were found. He ran off before they could raid his place. Skyler is worried after Walt wandered away from their conversation and hasn't returned. And what was with that phone call he got right before? Could it mean Walt has a second cell phone?
No.
The White family is hanging up missing posters all around town. While Hank is trying to find Tuco at work, he is also helping the family find Walt. He visits Jesse's mom, trying to turn up any lead possible. So where are they? Tuco has taken them, in Jesse's trunk, to the middle of the desert where Tuco's Tio lives. It turns out Tuco doesn't know Gonzo is dead. He thinks Gonzo snitched on him, which led to the raid. Now he's questioning if he can trust Heisenberg and his lackey partner. Walt and Jesse realize if Tuco finds out Gonzo is dead, then he will assume they are the ones who talked to the feds and they're dead. So they need to take out Tuco before he takes out them. Walt still has the ricin on him, and they almost convince Tuco that it is some new product, but Jesse wouldn't stop talking. Then they try to poison his burrito, but the Tio comes to the rescue. Relegated to a wheelchair and a little bell, he communicates everything he needs to Tuco. Tuco takes Walt and Jesse outside to kill them when Walt and Jesse are able to turn the tables. In a scuffle, Jesse gets Tuco's gun and shoots him. They run off thinking they're leaving him for dead. Tuco is able to get back up and get to the gun in Jesse's car just as Hank pulls up. He found Jesse's car through his LoJack device. To his surprise, he finds Tuco instead. After a firefight, Hank takes out Tuco with a bullet between the eyes. Walt and Jesse watched the whole thing happen before wandering off into the desert, wondering what just happened.
Yeah, what did just happen? Okay, so let's talk about some things real quick. So on the finale of when Todd was on, I clearly made a bold prediction that Tuco lives about halfway through the season. I was on the right path that he did die, but 2 episodes in, I
2 episodes.
texted NoHo Hank and I said, "WTF? Like Tuco's dead? 2 episodes in? Like I predicted 7, but still something like that." And yeah, that was a pretty crazy. I liked it. I'm not saying I didn't, but Tuco, man, yeah, he was an awesome character. Definitely one that going to be missed. Some really cool stuff
Obviously, I
here.
agree.
Yeah, I think I really liked his uncle. No, I was about to say no. Hey,
Tio.
Tio, yeah, Uncle Tio, Uncle Tio, Uncle Tio. It's the same word. Jeez. Anyway, but I really liked his uncle, and right when he rang that bell, I was like, they're gonna somehow use Morse code here, or some way of communicating. There's some way they're communicating with that bell. Got to be some really cool shots. I actually recognized that actor, which is pretty interesting. He looked
Mark
familiar.
Margolis.
Mark Margolis, yes. Trust my barber. Anyway, I don't know why that sounded like J.K. Simmons. Anyway, let's dive into our categories there. Terry. Actually, no.
You know what? You know where that reference came from? You were thinking of I Love You
Love
Man.
you, man. Yeah, J.K.
'Cause
Simmons.
J.K. Simmons' best man was his best friend, Hank Mardukas.
Yeah,
Mark Margolis. That's where I tracked that, which I think might be more scary than anything.
yeah. Well, we're gonna do a deep dive, and I better be on that episode. I love that movie.
We'll need to.
Next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
So this is the episode that I think, if the writer strike hadn't happened, would have been the season 1 finale. I feel like this is what it was building towards. Where, the season ended probably about just past the halfway point of what all the other seasons are. The other seasons, like 2 and 3 and 4, are 13 episodes. First season was 7. I could see them draw out a lot of Tuco stuff for a couple more, for a half a season, and then end with something like this. Which I mean, this is one of the more insane episodes, and you just see how everything goes completely bonkers.
Goes
And you're
kaput.
seeing, and like we said before, you were thinking, how could it get any crazier? And it ratchets up
It
another notch,
manages. It
and then it
manages.
goes another notch and another notch, and it just keeps going. And yeah, this episode is just insane.
Yeah, this episode,
Starting with the first shot you see of the car bouncing, right?
I didn't even
starts
pick
at
up
the
on the
end.
fact that there was like bullet holes in the car. I saw that there's casings. I was like, oh shit, what's going on here? And then they show that what's crazy about that, they show that scene when it's bouncing, and then they cut right back to Tuco and Jesse and Walt in the trunk. I didn't pick up on the fact that the car it's a little different. I thought for a second the car was the biggest stick man because it was, bumping.
a
It
little
was a
bit of a
rocking.
baton situation.
Yeah, it was a little rock in there. But anyway, yeah, this episode definitely Spinal tapped it, notched up to 11. It was pretty awesome. I really liked it a lot, and I love the reference of grilled because he's doing that was awesome. Like kind of like I want to know what kind of food that was because I really love like how the way they cook their carne asada. So I don't think it was necessarily steak, but it was definitely some kind of pork or something like that he was cooking up in those burritos. So
Yeah,
definitely looked pretty
some
good.
carne asada with some extra meth involved.
Yeah, exactly. Rice and beans. Little rice in there. Little rice on the side. No, that
Of
didn't hurt
course,
anybody.
of course. All right. Well, what's the best scene in this episode?
All right, this is the best scene I was thinking about. This is the one I haven't wrote down. I was kind of contemplating between a couple things. I just watched it about 45 minutes, ended it 45 minutes ago. So I think the best scene here is when he's shooting the cow. Tuco was shooting the cow, and his uncle rings the bell again. His Tio rings the bell, and then it's revealed like they're communicating this way, and Tuco's slowly losing it even more. But like, did you do something to my Tio? And he's like,
"What'd you do to my Tio?"
Oh, yeah, it's such a good scene because there's like, oh, we changed the channel on him. but he's like, no, that wasn't it. And then it leads to Jesse getting beat up again. So I'm sure we're going to talk about some statistics at the end of it.
We're
But
definitely going to talk about some statistics here. Yeah.
yeah, so it was definitely a top-notch episode for me, and that scene alone is something I'm going to remember probably for the season right now. Is just that communication, little great communication. The actor who plays Tuco, man, he is fantastic. Like that, I'm actually going to really miss him a lot. It's kind of like the Cristobal character in Barry. We missed him a lot, and after he finally had that big stand up to Noah Hank, it's definitely one of those characters that you're gonna feel that kind of loss for a little bit. Because at least for me, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm sure there's going to be some big cartel guy because the cousins are going to show up at some point, I would imagine. So there's going to be something coming on the horizon, and but I'm excited to see what happens. So definitely feeling it. But yeah, that scene for me is a really great scene between the Tio and Tuco there.
Yeah, that's the one I had written down too. And great call on Tuco. I haven't seen Better Call Saul, but I've heard he pops up in Better Call
Oh,
Saul. So if
Sideshow
we
season
keep
3.
going the way we're planning to on the sideshow, we will see more Tuco eventually.
It's gonna be tight, tight.
It's gonna be tight. Yep. I'm late to the buzzer here. Hold on. It's
Tight, yeah.
yeah, tight, yeah. Um so yeah, I had that one down too because it's just so good.
Yeah, real quick, I think we'd be not doing a service to our podcast listeners unless we put that deleted scene from the Avengers Infinity War in the show notes down below of Tuco doing the
Oh
Infinity
yeah.
Stones. We got to put that in there too,
I
kind of
I
honor
will I will
Tuco.
add that in.
So good.
It's so good. It's so good. It's a super cut of the end of Endgame and when Thanos
I talked like
loses
that in
his
Wine Country. Yeah, I meant
yeah,
Endgame, I meant Infinity War.
yeah. Thanos goes to snap his fingers and the stones are gone and it turns out that Tuco is snorting them. So it's beautiful. I'll put it in the show notes if you haven't seen it. It's worth a watch. It's really well done. He also ends up with Mjolnir at some point. I don't know what's going on. If I were to pick a different scene than that one, I mean, I love Hank in this episode.
Yep, really good.
Um, and he's got a couple really good ones. The showdown with Tuco is great. I love his pep talk he gives in the office.
I like that.
And
That was gonna be my backup, is the Office scene in
yeah,
the beginning of it.
that one's really good too. Um, Hank does in this episode is just solid stuff. And
Mm,
it's you start to see what kind of character he's going to round out to be and how he's kind of this guy who's all over the place but at the same time he's pretty awesome and there's a reason he's where he's at because he's really good at his job.
yeah. I want to throw something out to you. What's your least favorite scene?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I got mine. I was thinking about it, and then this goes into another category. We had Marie and Skylar go
Oh
sit in the car, and she brings up the tiara. I was like, it just makes me not like Marie in this episode, but it's one of those things. Like, really, like that kind of just bring like it's not the time or place for that. Maybe that's not a dislike of the scene. Because I think every scene in this episode, mind you, when I say worst scene or least favorite scene, it doesn't mean that the scene's bad by any means or not important.
yeah,
It's just the one scene's like, that's not the time or place for that.
I actually didn't mind that scene
Mhm.
because this is the first time Skylar and Marie have been in the same
Fair point. Fair
place
point. Yeah,
together. And so, you
they're kind
know,
of doing it
Marie has
because
been
of Walter.
trying to talk to her, has been trying to talk to her. Skylar hasn't picked up her calls. And then she gets an opportunity to talk to her. And yeah, they're working on something else. And she goes, okay, I need to mention it, the TR. And that's when she's like, Skylar's like, no, not now. We can talk about it later.
Mhm.
I don't need this now. And then they just move on. And she knows to just leave it there. That's so with that, I kind of like the scene, and
Yeah,
but
and
I see where you're coming from too.
but it makes me. not like the character so much, but at the same time, it's an important scene because, like you said, they're basically working together out of solidarity for finding Walt. It's not like they're still upset with each other, and you still at times like there could be something like, well, you're completely disagreeing with somebody but you have to work with them, or not like somebody, but you absolutely have to just like kind of be professional to the point where you gotta get the job done and then go your separate ways afterward. But you just have to still remain professional and tolerate the guy for whatever period of time. That's what it kind of plays off as until they have their final like meeting.
I would say maybe another great scene is after Tuco beats up Jesse, and then Walt notices that Jesse has found a rock, and so he's like, "I'm gonna say something that's gonna distract him." And he looks at him and says, "You're an insane, degenerate piece of filth and deserve to die." And it gets Tuco's eye off of Jesse just long enough for him to swing the rock at his face, and that was a great moment. It's just a good moment.
Yeah, and it's a great scene for Jesse too, because it's one of those things where he didn't just do kind of his plan in the beginning in the house. He actually did both parts. He hit the guy in the head and got the gun. So it's kind of Jesse, the one man band there.
And good on Walt for not shooting.
Yeah.
The Ken wins douchebag award.
For this episode, I gotta go with Marie. I think that was just not the time or place. A couple different things. What about the second cell phone? Tell her about it, and you can just see. I have to compare the two shows for a second. I am rewatching The Office with my wife, right? And so Tank is totally pulling the Michael Scott, Toby exit interview thing. Like, shut up, Marie. Do not say about the other phone. Shut up. It's that's totally what it reminded me of. So it's Marie. It's I think that for this, Skylar doesn't need to be worried about other stuff, and now you just put that on her head.
That's a good call. That's a good one. The one I've written down is Jesse's mom.
Really?
She does not have it going on in this episode. But no, Jesse's mom.
Oh.
That's Stacy's mom. That's Stacy's mom.
That's the neighbor.
Yeah. And you want Jesse's girl and Stacy's mom. I got my pop culture song references mixed up. Anyways, Jesse's mom is just like she's talking and she's like, "Okay, wait a second. You're a cop. This is," and all of a sudden she clams up. It's like, "No, I'm not talking anymore. I disowned my son." It's like, dude, just chill out a little bit here. I don't know.
I liked the mom until she talked about the car, and it's like, if you kind of already know, suspect he's a cop, and he tells you, it's like, how can people find other people? It's usually by cars. Why did you give him any description of the car?
If he'd spend half as much time on something else other than that bouncing car.
Yeah, gave the one descriptive word that he needed.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I needed. All right. The Pinkman Stickman Award.
Dude, okay, I meant jokingly said like the car at the beginning, but I'm gonna go with the DEA agents because they're gonna get a hard on thinking about catching
massive hard on
thinking about.
Sorry to the HR department. What was it? I wrote it down here.
No, grow tumescent with anticipation.
That's it. Talk about a Michael Scott moment there.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Toby. That's a good one. I have referencing the same scene. I have Tuco down because they raided everything and took all of his property. Even went to his crack whore honey that he has on the side.
I didn't catch that line, but good call.
So yeah. But what would be interesting if his version of that was also Wendy, who was the one Jesse was hiding out with, who left the root beer on the car.
That's kind of conspiracy theory, right?
That's conspiracy theory. All right, the best new face. Do we even have to say it? It's his Tio.
It's his Tio.
It's his Tio.
So when they first introduced that character, I was like, I didn't know Jonathan Pryce was in this film or in this show.
Oh gosh.
So, and I say that, but if you look at it, because the first shot you see is of his nose up, it looks like Jonathan Pryce. And I went to the two popes and looked. I was like, that's Jonathan Pryce.
That's really funny.
I was like, Jonathan Pryce, and I was like, a pause. I was like, oh, it's Mark Margolis, duh, from Requiem from a Dream, and there's other films he's been into. I kind of looked at his IMDb
Defiance.
page.
We
Oh
just
yeah,
watched
2008.
recently in
Yeah.
2008. I even referenced this line when we did our award show in 2008 because he shows up in one scene in Defiance and then walks away, and I said, I want to know what happened to my Tio.
Didn't realize he played in Pi, a Clint Eastwood movie, Absolute Power, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Just died recently too.
Oh,
But, yeah, no, he's that character where, I mean, to be Tuco's uncle, he's like he can't be any good. Like he's a horrible dude. But at the same time, you're like, okay, man, respect for. I mean, all you got is his bell. You save your nephew's life with it, and then you're able to you do what you need to do to survive. Like he's such a likable supervillain in so many ways. So
he's like the silent Dr. Evil because of the
Dr. Evil. Yeah. The one time he actually moves is to throw the burrito on the floor. I mean, it's pretty. He's legit. He's clutch. You gotta love that guy.
That could be MVP. It's tracking to like an MVP highest war like character.
Oh yeah,
for this episode.
absolutely. All right, favorite minor character. Mine's Hank. I already mentioned it. He rocks this episode.
Yeah, but he's kind of borderline main now,
Yeah,
right?
well, I mean, there's only like 10 characters in this episode.
So that's where I kind of struggle too. It's kind of hard to distinguish because I think Marie's still minor, but Hank, Walt, Jesse, and Skylar are all main, and then Walter Jr. is minor. That's how in my head I picture it.
All right.
But I do get like he's not in it. Like he's in it the second. Probably him and Tuco, Jesse, and Walt probably have the most time on the screen, but Hank has the second most. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I still think put it down because I think he definitely. I think after this, I think he's going to be getting a lot more screen time because his character is definitely not just the wisecracker. He definitely has some really good like more serious moments, which is great.
Well, and I mean, a show about a guy who breaks bad and starts cooking meth. If he's got a brother-in-law that's a DEA agent, it's kind of assumed he's going to become more and more of an important character moving forward.
Probably good call.
Do you have anybody else?
Yeah, I had Mrs. Pinkman.
Mrs. Pinkman is your favorite minor character.
Well, who else is there really?
Yeah.
Well, really, yeah. Yeah. I had her. I wrote her down until like right when she gave up the car details. I was like, lame.
I'm gonna say the another one you could throw out there is whoever was the star of that black and white Mexican movie they were watching. That was he was legit. He was legit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the Cow House Dumbest Thing Said award.
Well, I'm kind of hinting at something. The jumping on the grenade. I think that's that's
so what you're saying is I'm gonna die anyways, so I should sacrifice
myself by jumping on the grenade.
Yeah, kinda. That's not bad.
It's not bad, but I did have grow tumescent with anticipation. I thought could have been up there, but that's kind of a brilliant.
That's clever. Line. Getting the massive hard on to catch this guy that could be a dumb thing though.
So my dumbest thing comes from Skylar when she's getting asked about Walt from the other police officer or the guy who's going to be searching for him. He asks, "Does he have any distinguished marks, tattoos, scars?" And she's like, "Tattoos? No, not really. How do you not really have a tattoo? How do you not really have a tattoo? Did he like just do a line? It's like, I'm out." And I don't know, like not really have a tattoo. That's the dumbest line, I think.
That is a yes or no question, not a not really question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Possible tattoos, maybe. I'm gonna write down on my
I,
paper.
I've got two things. Um, and they're both Jesse. I mean,
Mm.
this is the inspiration for it.
He is doing better on his not having so many dumb
He's
moments.
doing better, but he does definitely has a couple moments in here that
He
you can
remembers
tell
his
Walt
yeah. Oh, there was
chili powder.
yeah.
I
That's a
just
great one.
chili powder. It's like, and you could tell the look on Walt's face. It's like I'm trying to bluff this so I can't roll my eyes, but I really, really want to roll my eyes right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh.
oh, are we good?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay. The other one that I had written down is the when Tuco's starting to freak out. It's like, oh, we changed the channel. He had on one of those telenovels
Oh yeah,
with
that's
the sweet honeys. He just wanted his eye candy, man. I told you not to change the
telenovas.
channel. It's like
Yeah,
telenovel. You can't say telenovela. It's a telenovel.
that's a great line. That's a good one. So that's if we're talking about the dumbest thing said, like where Walter's like, that's the jumping on the grenade line came from because and he had the total face. It's like he did the whole high roll. He couldn't help it. It's
Mhm.
great.
Uh, yeah. All right. Did you find any problems or any outdated things you wanted to shout
Yes,
out?
that the final standoff between Hank and Tuco. Okay, Hank is totally a stormtrooper. So the if you look at logistically where the car is sitting, right, and you have Hank's truck here. The front door is open. He jumps down underneath the door. And he's shooting. Right, Tuco's still walking back to the truck to go around the corner. Right.
He
How
shook
did he
it.
not? How did he not hit him in that spot? And then he's like, pop, and he pops a headshot off right when I thought the stormtrooper line. And I was like, well, I'm still writing that down because he should have hit him way before he won that corner.
But you got to think in that moment he's like, "Holy crap, I'm actually getting shot at." And so he's like so he's panicking, his aim gets a little off. I mean, I get it. I get it. But then he's able to calm himself down, collect himself, line it up, and you knew once he had that figured out, it's like, "Oh yeah, he's going down the second he
Well,
pops his head out."
I was definitely grasping at straws here on this one because I feel like this is actually one of the episodes that's rather perfect. So,
It's a pretty perfect episode.
yeah,
I would say if there's anything outdated, um, does anyone use LoJack anymore?
yeah, or missing photo
Or yeah, or missing
people.
photos around town? No, you just post on social media now. But yeah, LoJack. I don't know if it. I know how. Don't know how much of it is a thing anymore.
Mm-mm.
That's kind of the where I was looking at. Okay, the midlife crisis moment.
You're gonna laugh at this one. If anybody's interested, can check my website. Which, by the way, we have a website, almostsideways.com. Make sure you go there for all your other updated movie news, sports stuff, and all fun stuff. And we also, yeah, subscribe. Okay, that's my plug. I had to do it. It's a good one. It was a funny thing.
Okay, so my midlife crisis moment is I had a tough time with this one, but the one I came up with is having to wear different hats
Mm,
in situations where you potentially are going to be in different capacities. So I'm thinking about Hank when he's going to talk to Jesse's mom, and this idea that he shows up there and she goes, "Wait, you're a police officer," and he goes, "I'm a DEA agent, but I'm here on personal matters." Like, well, once you know you're a DEA agent, you're not there on personal matters anymore, right? You can't trying to wear different hats in life, but circumstances don't allow you to.
hmm
Um, it's being a teacher. It's kind of hard to sometimes uh, not be a teacher in moments. So I get it. I get
That makes sense. That's a good one. That's actually probably a better one.
it.
That's a good one.
All right, let's get this through. LVP. My LVP is keeping the printer in the nursery.
Yeah,
Walter Jr.'s printing the posters from the nursery. I mean, yeah. Especially when he's sitting right next to an open box of diapers with money and a gun in it.
Yeah, and how do they not find that yet? Ridiculous.
Yeah.
My LVP moment is Jesse's chili pea, because that comes back to haunt you again with that, because he was so close to doing that line off the knife. uh, but yeah, the Jesse's chili pea, that is not so such a good moment. So LVP.
That's a good one. All right, MVP. My MVP is kind of an unfulfilled MVP. Tuco's burritos looked so good.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, they looked so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. My MVP is Tuco's burrito making skills. I wanted to have one of those, and then none of them ate any of them, and
Yeah, Alex, that goes back to that for flaws too. How conspicuous do you guys have to look? Oh, yeah, we didn't do anything to your burrito, but we're not touching ours. Like, if you want to get all speculation off you, eat the burrito that's in front of you.
eat the burrito.
You
Exactly.
saw the guy make it. I don't know.
Okay, so
Oh, my
They-
MVP.
oh yeah, your MVP. Go for it.
Low Jack. For this purpose only, is that Hank was able to find him. I think
Absolutely.
Hank's pretty MVP on this episode too.
He is.
Again, yeah. So that's kind of what I had to here.
All right. You haven't seen this before. You've got Walt and Jesse wandering into the desert aimlessly, not knowing where in the world they are. Hank just shot a guy.
Brick just killed the guy.
Brick just killed a guy. What's next? Where does it go now? We're 2 episodes into the second season. Where does it go now?
This is probably way off, but I would kind of love it if it happened. So Jesse and Walt are wandering. They find us like some kind of like gas station or whatever, and the cousins of Tuco are fueling up there, and they kind of have like this encounter, and they don't recognize that who they are or whatever. That'd be kind of interesting.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. That'd be quite the showdown for sure.
Which tells me a lot about that. Probably not going to happen. That's probably the only thing I really can think of. This is another thing. I don't understand why Walt didn't just go after, say, "Hey, what's up, Hank?" and like get Hank's help, because I think that you can explain your way out of that. I went to see my old student because he did sell me marijuana before, and I guess Jesse got out of that business, and Tuco didn't accept that answer, and I was in the wrong space at the wrong time. They're beefing.
Yeah, he couldn't slip out of that though. Like nothing Hank could do could get him fully out of that moment. But it's not a horrible idea. It's not a horrible plan.
But that's just me kind of like Monday morning quarterbacking it. That's
Okay. All right. Well, to update our statistics, our running
Yeah.
stats for the show, the Walter White body count is at 2 drug dealers, 1 car, 1 custodian's career, 1 drug dealer's hideout, 1 lock, and 1 uneaten burrito.
Good call. I was going to say you need to add the burrito.
Yeah, and then the Jesse ass kicked count has now risen to 3. We are now at 3, but I almost feel like it needs to come with an asterisk because he ended the ass kicking by shooting a guy. So
he says plus 1 guy partially killed. He's mostly dead.
He's mostly dead. Mostly.
Yeah. I like the asterisk. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. That's it.
All right. Well, that's our episode for breaking down Breaking Bad this week. Grilled. Looking forward to next week's episode. And who knows what's going to happen? Terry does. Todd does. Zach
do know what's
does.
going to happen.
And possibly as well, fans. So if you're liking what you're hearing, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube and on the podcast as well. So we would love to have your guys' conversation in the comments section. And I guess I should also throw out, there's been a missing man here. you guys find Walter White, let us know in the comments section. That was a gag that was planned for earlier in the episode, and I just now remembered it. So anyway, let us
Breakdown
know.
of Breaking Bad.
I think that's a good spot. I'm done talking.
Sit and spin.
You know, I was thinking about this too. What are some of the best bells in TV shows? I think you have to go with the lady Shame from Game of Thrones would be up there for a great bell, and I think you got to go with this Tio as one of the best bells in TVs. You got it. It's definitely a power rankings, maybe.
That would be a fun power ranking. Best
Best bells.
Best bells in TV. I like it.